internet chums, this is Dan from Blotworks. So this is sort of number 2 in my new series of workshop videos or musings, looking at developing a new thing, a new creation from initial idea through to the final thing itself. So in the last video I explained that the initial idea for this collection of things had come from ideas of sort of balance and equilibrium and gravity, and I sort of combine this in with my sort of general interest in producing or designing sort of desk lamps as an interesting, very simple problem. So the kind of gravity thing's been around for a while, and I've been thinking, because most of my things are kind of powered in some way, and you can, like my breeze vases would be a good example of this, and they have a little fan, and the whole idea is to be very simple, a little bit of natural, the grasses or the flowers, and then a little fan that blows a simple natural breeze through them. But at the moment I have to either power them by by mains electricity, either through an adapter or directly, or it could be, in theory, it could be clockwork, or it could be with a solar panel, or it could be battery. So those are kind of normal choices. But of course you can also use gravity to power things. Of course there's various issues with that, but I really like the idea of it because it fits really well with my kind of getting back to the bare bones of things, very simple things. So for instance, here's a classic gravity powered little bar here, so that just the weight pulling down there will turn that shaft there, so you can power something. It's obviously needs space and all that kind of thing, but that principle I'd really like to develop in future work. But for now, the starting idea for this collection of desk lamps was what different mechanisms are there for getting a light source over here without cluttering this desk space, without getting in the way of my working area. So I started off here with this is, I think you saw this last time. And the basic principle is, you've got a wheel, you've got a centre. The centre stays level all the way, of course. This is why you don't bounce around when you're driving along a flat road without any potholes. But of course, when it's a wheel, when it's a complete wheel, you've got the distance, horizontal distance between the centre here and the front is always the same, because you've got, it's in the middle of the wheel. But of course, if you cut away most of the wheel and you end up with something that's more like a rocking chair or something like that, so you've just got like a bit of cut out. If you've got it here, if you can see these lines, let me just do this here. That bit better. So at the moment the centre's over this back line here, and the distance between this point where this line joins the circumference and the centre is the radius of the circle. But when you roll it forward, that horizontal distance is now 0. So there's an extension there, and that's the starting point. So I built a little prototype, which we've got here, which is not a particularly beautiful thing, but it does the job. So it's just this is a sort of plywood curved base. And its centre is up here, where you see that pivot, and this top bit is pivoted on that pivot, and just balanced, so it's got a bit of a bob weight or plumb weight. I'm not sure if that's a bob or a plumb, but it's I don't mind because I like both words, and it basically stays level. So if you imagine this being a light and the light source being on here, this is in its parked away position. Let's get some work. Here's my work again. That should be about right. So if I don't need the light, I'm just working away down over here. See, over here. You probably can't see that well. It's over here. And then I roll it forward. And if you watch the light source, at the moment it's kind of just over the front of this lamp here. As you roll it forward, it moves out. And there it is at full extension. And the light is now directly over my working piece. It'd be better without that, though, wouldn't it? So you can see my work there. And then I roll it back. When I don't need it anymore, I roll it back. And that, in essence, is the principle. It's really simple, really easy. The idea, there's no real moving parts, nothing I have to adjust. All I need to do is place, and I haven't got one here, place a bit of weight on here, and that will keep it in position. If I move the weight back a bit, it just adjusts it. So as I move the weight back, the lamp comes back. If I want to put it to bed, or just have it as a nice decorative little lamp, I put it there. And that's it. And then also you can, with the counterbalance thing, move this backwards and forwards, and that'll adjust that angle. That's the principle. So I'm going to very quickly show you some sketches that I did last year based on this principle, just to see what they would look like. So I'm going to put them up on the video in a minute with some on my computer, but I'll take you through. So the first one is, I've got some paper here, so I'll just so I know what you're looking at. So the first one I'm quickly showing you now is just basically a version of that, but it's been blottified. So it's the same plywood base with a grey metal aluminium upper strut. It's got the bob weight, which is done with nice brass, done in kind of scientific instrument kind of way. And it's got the tube across the top, and then it's got a lovely wooden spherical light shade, and then a counterweight made out of brass at the other end. So if you rock it forward and back, it would do exactly what that last what my prototype did. So here's number 2 coming up, and that's the same sort of thing, but this is kind of more like, I think, like I don't know, an oil rig or a metronome or some sort of scientific, something or other, gravity detection. Same principle, but it got obviously a different shape, but the balancing beam is the same. But then this one kind of looks a bit to me like a skier or something like that, but it was just trying different shapes really. Again, exactly the same principle really. So what I like about this idea as much as anything is that everything's the same apart from the shape, so I can have all sorts of different kinds of lamps, but they're all basically using the same principle and the same parts. And then this one, which is probably my favourite and the one that I'm going to play around with initially to start with and prototype up. So this is just a lovely sort of spiral curve that just follows the rocker up to the centre point and allows the whole thing to sort of hang down in space. And then you've got the power, you can see the power cable coming up at the back there. And then you can see the brass weight at the bottom there that you can move along to adjust it. And then I'm going to quickly put up an image of the same thing, but with of course you can put any sort of shade you want on it. So with a splash of colour, like a nice big bold red shade, I think it looks really nice. It goes really nicely with the greys, the muted colours, and just something that's got a nice splash of colour. So that's that. Or one more thing on gravity. There's a whole lot of other things you can do with gravity and weights, counterweights and things. So this is imagine this being a light. Can we do this? Let me just see if I can get that on. I'm not there. Anyway, you can see that. So you can see what I'm doing here. So this is just a bit of glass fibre rod. So you can imagine this as a light, and then just tilt it a bit just to make things easier. And then you've got a counterweight here or something like that. And as you move it up, it may not stay. You can see it pulls it over. So you can imagine this as a big floor lamp by the side of your sofa. Moving this up just pulls it over, and you get different angles. So there's endless different things you can do with that, which is a kind of the bendy approach to using weights and gravity. But that just seems like you can do some really beautiful, simple things. Again, for me, it's all about getting to the bare bones of something, the simplicity of something, and just without any complications, without any unnecessary fuss, just find that physical principle or that structural or engineering principle and just lay it bare. And to give you something, and to add that sort of play and ritual and playfulness. So anyway, I could sit and watch that forever. So that's enough for today. We're on to 9.5 minutes, and it should be 5. So I'll stop there. Thank you very much for listening again. Next one, I'll look at some of the problems that come out of that. So the initial idea, and then of course there's various things you didn't think of or you hoped wouldn't be a problem and turned out to be a bit of a problem or an opportunity. So thank you very much for listening. I'll do another one in 2 or 3 days' time. And I'll see you then. Okay, bye.